Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing El Salvador 0, Costa Rica 0 in CONCACAF Gold Cup 2023 Group C 0. El Salvador 0, Costa Rica 0 en la Copa Oro Grupo C Jornada 2. 0-0, 0-0. Panama. The biggest thing about this match is Panama has clinched their knockout stage berth, the second team to clinch a knockout stage berth in this CONCACAF Gold Cup. We know 2 of the 8 teams that'll still be alive on Tuesday night, at the end of Tuesday night, going to the knockouts. But there's still 15 teams alive in this tournament as of right now. 8 of those will go to the knockout stage. With that being said, we know Panama and Mexico will be 2 of them. So 6 more open spots of people who will move on. So 2 through 13 still fighting to push through. St. Kitts eliminated, of course. 13 still alive, at least till Tuesday, depending on what happens on the final match day of Group B. Could be 14, 12, and all that. But with that being said, Panama's through. So Felicidades Panama on qualifying. Congratulations, Panama, on qualifying to the knockout stage. Felicidades Panama on avanzar a la cuartos de final. And on to this game, so I don't have to wait till the end. El Salvador and Costa Rica are on 1 point, but they are still mathematically in possibility to get to the Gold Cup knockout stage. El Salvador will have to beat Panama, maybe a rotated Panama, but they would have to beat Panama. Costa Rica would have to beat Martinique and hope Panama beats El Salvador or draws El Salvador. It's going to be very tight for both sides. I think Martinique has the better opportunity to get out of the group, especially as well. El Salvador would have to hope Martinique does not win. With that being said, 0-0 at the half. It was a very tight defensive game. 0-0 at the half, tight defensive game. Both sides had a couple of chances on net. Nothing much really to write home about. Same in the second half. I thought around the 80th minute they would push it into gear to try to get that goal and win 1-0. That did not happen. Full time is 0-0 for both sides. They're both still alive. Even a loss for one of them would have meant they were still alive in theory. Not mathematically eliminated. A draw in Panama versus Martinique would have led to somebody being mathematically eliminated had that happened. And there was a win in this game. But that did not happen. Neither or. So, full time, 0-0. With that being said, full-time stats, 9 shots to 12, 2 shots on goal to 7, 48% possession to 52% possession, 394 passes to 438, 83% pass accuracy to 83%, 12 fouls to 19, 0 offside to 3, 1 yellow card to 2, 0 red cards to 1, because there was a red card at the end of the match. Red card at the end of the match on El Salvador. I don't know if it was Hugo Perez or a player, but there was a red card at the end of the match. Perez was pissed because of the early whistle before the corner. So 0-1 on red cards, 2 corners to 3. Again, it was a tight game. The game was a tight match. To me personally, I'd say man of the match was Gonzalez of El Salvador. Made a good bit of saves. Zavaleta played a good game, to be honest. Like, this game, it's sort of like, okay, I really don't know where to kick on, to be honest. I don't know really what to say, besides it was a defensive masterclass. This was probably the closest game of any game at the Gold Cup. The most even game, I should say. The most even game at the Gold Cup was tonight. El Salvador versus Costa Rica. It's hard to really dig into because it was really a stonewall performance by both sides. Both sides stonewalled each other throughout 90 minutes. There was really no quarter given to any side. El Salvador didn't really give any quarter to Costa Rica. Costa Rica had some chances, but really they didn't have any quarter. Same for the other side. Costa Rica did not give El Salvador any quarter. I think El Salvador was slightly the better side. I think they had more of the chance to score. But that doesn't matter because they didn't score. I think that this game was it was a snooze fest, I think. If you don't like defensive football, I think it was a snooze fest. Well, I would say you could think it's a snooze fest if you don't like defensive football. I like defensive football sometimes, even though I'm more of an fan of offensive football. As matches go, sometimes I like to watch chess matches, and this was a good one. We haven't had that many, but this one was a pretty good one. El Salvador, under Hugo Perez, they want Hugo Perez out, El Salvador's federation, which I think is stupid. I think that does not make any sense. Hugo Perez is taking them further than anybody else could. Now, for Toronto FC's sake, maybe it's a good thing. So if they get Hugo Perez, I won't complain. But Hugo Perez, under El Salvador, is taking El Salvador further than anybody else could have, or anybody else has. El Salvador is in a really precarious position. That I will admit. But Hugo Perez is not the reason why you're in this position. The players are just not showing their form, their heart, their fight, nothing. They're not showing what El Salvador players should be, what they think they are, anything like that. If Hugo Perez is sacked, that is a foolish decision by FESFUT and the El Salvadorian Federation. The Salvadoran Federation. I think that's a stupid decision. You shouldn't sack him. That's that. Costa Rica, on the other hand, age is catching up. As I said during the first match, after the first match, I think age is catching up to Costa Rica. I think their best players are way too old. Celso Borges is not walking off. Joel Campbell, turns out he's a fake striker now. He went to Alajuelense for a reason. He's getting old. Aaron Suarez did not show up like he should have. Contreras as well as a sub. Chamorro kept Costa Rica in this game. And the defense, to be honest. Kendall Waston played a good game. Francisco Calvo, for some reason, played a good game, which I'm not known. He's not known to play a good game. He's not known to play good games, Francisco Calvo. So I'm pretty shocked. He played a pretty tough game. A pretty good, tough game, Francisco Calvo. I'm a bit shocked. Now, with that being said, Francisco Calvo played a damn good game, but he's not man of the match for me. I think it's honestly the goalkeepers in general, but especially Mario Gonzalez of El Salvador. I think he's the man of the match for me. I think he played a damn good game in goal. He made a lot of saves. He made some really risky saves, too. Later in the night, he made some risky stops, but it worked out for him. With that being said, I'm happy with this match. It was an enjoyable chess match of a game. Again, congratulations to Panama on qualifying to the knockout states. Felicidades de la Panama. Felicidades Panama a la avanzar a la cuartos de final de la Copa Oro. Panama moves on, the second team to do it. They're the second team with a ticket to the quarterfinals, the knockout stage. There are 6 tickets left. 6 teams will still be alive at the end of Tuesday night. Then that means, of course, 9 teams. 9 teams will be eliminated out of the Gold Cup. Their Gold Cup hopes will be over by Tuesday night. So with that being said, if you like this video, like and share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for a live watch along and review. Double live watch along and review of Toronto FC versus Real Salt Lake and Guatemala versus Canada, MLS and Gold Cup Group D. For the Dynasty Stars, you will have the episode a month ahead for July tomorrow as well before that starts. So, a double live, double review, and month ahead for my Dynasty Stars. So that's what you got tomorrow to start the month of July on Canada Day, no less. So Canadians, have an amazing Canada Day. Everybody else, have an amazing July 1st. With that being said, there you go. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.